This podcast contains some magical adult language. Listener discretion is advised. And sorry, Mom.
I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to...
Whoa. You're not Mickey Mouse, you're a rat.
Rat smack! Besides, they're tourists. What do they know?
Welcome to Rat Castle, a progressive chat about theme park magic without the pixie dust. I am your beautiful host, Nathan Hartman. And you can see, according to the YouTube comments, we're all very beautiful. So I'll take all of it I can get. And with me tonight are two of my favorite, most beautiful rats. Dave Cobb. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
It's so good to see you, your beautiful face. And Saara. Hello, Saara.
Hi.
Also beautiful, of course, but that's there's no filter, no magic on Saara. It's not an algorithm. It's just
a vibe.
It's just what it is.
Those glasses, though.
Yeah.
The glasses.
Those are from Tokyo, right?
Tokyo, yes. They're so
Yeah.
cute.
She's international now.
Yeah, she is.
International babe. Always.
Jealous. Well, I'm still getting used to when to drink because now it's all very obvious.
Yeah, you can't hide it anymore.
This episode brought to you by the Polynesian Village.
And Club 33 and Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Ooh.
Which always looks like I'm drinking, radiator fluid, basically.
Yeah, it's like dragon piss.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
What are you going to do? Of course, as you can see and hear, probably, there is no Janine or Victoria this evening. Sadly, they couldn't join us. R.I.P. I about said R.I.P. No, not R.I.P.
No, not R.I.P.
No.
Just rest. Like
Rest,
normal.
just rest.
You're good. Yeah, and as I said, you can't see, and that is because and I know if you're questioning why I said that, it's because you didn't listen to the last episode, because we are now also on YouTube, and you can come see our beautiful faces. We're going to have segments that are exclusive for video. Anytime we talk about a TikTok or anything like that, or a subject, I'm going to try to put in, the video or show pictures of stuff we're talking about. So join us on there. What I recommend is for clicks and views, I recommend that you watch the full experience and then you listen to the podcast version as a meditative sleep thing.
Yeah.
I think it's best to listen twice.
And add us on, Instagram and TikTok and all that, because we're posting clips. We're posting the funnies. Share with your friends. Even get those people hooked, because there's been some. Just the last week alone, we had a couple of really great little clips.
Yeah,
so tell your friends.
We are also going to be hopefully putting out on social media a clip of the coming episode. So Sundays we'll probably release a clip for Monday's episode. So you're more than welcome to join us on all that. We're going to have, I think, some fun extra episodes coming up as well. Some things like that. So join us for all of that. But now, the news. Okay, let's get to the news. This week, of course, we'll begin. That's kind of where we always begin, is over here in Florida. But Walt Disney World Resort, the Magic Kingdom, as you're listening or watching, sadly, the Country Bear Jamboree has closed. It closed on the 26th for a new version of the Country Bears, which will feature sort of country-esque variations on Disney tunes, which my guess is that I think the Bare Necessities has been shown in the preview, if I remember correctly, which makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
Good song.
And I love.
Sarah, you never saw this, right?
I've never seen this. I have never seen the Country Bear Jamboree, but I understand the love. I totally get it, and I love that for you guys.
Well, we'll let the two white men talk about the probably the whitest possible show. It's rather country fried chicken of a show. Like it's
I was at the closing
southern.
of the Disneyland one. I was at the very last day that went before they put in Winnie the Pooh. So I loved that show growing up. I mean that was a every visit kind of thing as a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean it's the thing. I'm kind of gutted that I don't live in Florida and can't go. Like I couldn't see it before it closed one more time. It's one of those things that's. I mean, if I could show you my wall, which I can't because I'd have to like rip my computer out of its desk and turn it around. Behind me is literally just a collage of Country Bear Jamboree stuff, including a beautiful little. I'm trying to remember what kind of art it is. It's when you thread things into a. It's not cross stitch, but it's sort of like that. But anyway, my wife did a big owl for me.
Oh,
it's really cute. Yeah. So it's really close to my heart, and it's really the Mark Davis figures that do it for me. My God.
They're so expressive. Even when the show's not, like, even when they're just sitting there, the characters that aren't talking and not moving very much, it was just the genius of Mark Davis, right? That it was a snapshot of a character motivation or feeling in a sculpt. It's just beautiful. And you know what? That show was also really, really horny.
It was very horny. Very, very, very horny. It's the last. I'm trying to think of. There has never been a hornier Disney show. It is the horniest Disney show. I can't think of anything that's hornier.
I need to understand why you guys think bears are...
Well,
we're not horny. Well, I'm not horny for bears. Dave is very horny for bears.
I'm always horny for bears. So, I mean, they just woke up for hibernation to put this show on, and bears only do a handful of things out of hibernation, and one of them is fuck. But no, like Teddy Barra, who is like she's the songstress who comes out of the ceiling swinging on his wing. What is Henry's the host is like that delightful, delicate, dedicated, and dimpled darling of the Dakotas, right?
Yeah,
like he is into her, and as she's singing, in between every verse, he's like, lovely, lovely, sing it, gal. Like he is ready, and she's like, come up and see me sometime, you hear? And he's like, soon as I find the ladder, I'll be right up. Like,
damn.
Yeah. And then the triplets sing a song, which is
the Sunbonnets.
The Sunbonnet Trio for the Sunshine State sing a song about all the guys that turn me on, turn me down. It's
real.
It is a show that leaves children going, what did that mean, Dad? Which I love. I'm
that.
And that's one of the things that was sort of neutered out of the vacation show and the Christmas show. Is the horniness. It was just really horny. It was a really horny
Christmas
show.
The Christmas show gets away with it because it's Christmas songs. I had a soft spot for the vacation show just because as a kid it's like, the whole idea of the Country Bear Playhouse is that they put on vaudeville shows, and so the promise of like, oh, they put on new costumes and now they have new songs. As a kid, the novelty of that was cool, which is why I'm excited for the new one. Frankly,
we're lucky to have it.
I think it'll be fun. Yeah, we're lucky they're not being torn out and putting in a character meet and greet or something because
Lord knows.
There's not many sit down shows like this, animatronic shows especially.
Well, Magic Kingdom is just chock full of them, but it's weird when you go. I was trying to think of other like animatronic based theater shows at Disney.
Kitchen Cabaret.
But gone.
Food Rocks.
Right? Gone.
Yeah. Gone.
Really, the Cars Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy in Hollywood Studios, which is a very charming show, is an animatronic theater show. It's there's only a handful of them, and most of them are at Magic Kingdom, which is
the Mickey Mouse Revue used to be at the Magic Kingdom, and then it went to Tokyo Disney for a while. I don't know if it's still at Tokyo Disney yet. I think
it is gone.
Yeah, it was replaced by Monsters Inc. there.
Or was it? Or was it taken over by Meet the World? I can't remember where Meet the World was.
No, I thought Meet the World was there first. Because the whole idea of Meet the World was like to introduce Japanese audience to like Americana.
We meet the world with love. We meet the world with love. It is a Japanese song that will get immediately in your head because I think it was written by the Sherman Brothers.
But go online and look up the Mickey Mouse Revue because the animatronics in that. First of all, it was one of the first. It was at the time the only animatronic Mickey Mouse in any of the parks. And it was, it's forever. Great. Such a good show.
Yeah, but going back to Bears, like, I didn't really like Vacation, and I'm a little concerned about this one. Though I think it's nice that they can adapt songs to a genre. The thing with Vacation was they'd have like a Beach Boys song, and I was always like, I know it's too.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a playlist on Apple Music that is just called New Country Bears songs, and it's just songs that I find that I think this would go in the Country Bears.
That would work. Okay.
And
that's sort of Tex Ritter style, right?
Yeah, and I think. I've mentioned it. I'm gonna say it one more time because it's the last time I get to say it because it's gone after this. Which is my dream for this show was always I wanted it to be 50 songs and like 25 sketches, and I just wanted it to star tours. I just wanted it to shake up every every time it rotated through and just do a different thing. And I think that's a lot. I think it's a lot of work. It's more than they want to put in. But I think that these shows could, if they were wise and they wanted that repeatability, if you could say, hey, every time you go in, like we only do what I'm trying to think how often it runs. It's a 10-minute show. It runs a lot, but like the chance of you getting a song you've heard before is at like 25%. That's still an incredible value to people coming back and doing it later in the day or something.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that shows like this are kind of like dying off? Because I was kind of surprised that it was coming back.
Well, it's a people eater. It's a Magic Kingdom always benefits from 15 minutes in air conditioning.
And there's nothing you can do with that spot. That spot is like
if it wasn't that, it'd be retail.
Yeah, because it's between Adventureland and Frontierland. It's this weird little spot,
and it's small.
Yeah, it's really small, and so, I mean, I think we're past, unless you're gonna do Circle Vision or 3D or 4D. I think we're past the need for like just screen-oriented shows in theme parks a little bit, unless you have because now you can pay $12 and go see something in IMAX 4D or what. Like you can do all sorts of stuff now. But
I mean, the novelty of robotics is kind of over. But
I don't know.
To your point,
do you really think it is? I think you throw in a shaman of songs and it's like incredible.
I'm not saying in general. I'm saying to sit there and watch a show, and But when we see that the Zootopia opening, that cool little guy comes out on his ice cream cart, and Judy Hopps that can do a flip, and okay, there's still life in this if they can throw some of those kind of.
But like a 15-minute show, I don't think that's really something that people are really sitting down for.
The audience for that is young children and grandparents and parents, right? It's
every country bear I was ever in was full. Like it's always more than half. I mean, it's a smaller theater, but it was so popular in Disneyland they had 2 theaters.
Yeah, right, for capacity, right? Yeah. And then of course we have to talk about the name change for one of the characters.
Oh, Liverlips McGraw.
Sorry, there was a character in it named Liverlips, one of the bear musicians who had these big old lips, and it actually originally was a derogatory term for African Americans, especially trumpet players and trombonists in bands because of their swollen lips. So it was not a good good term, and it sort of got neutered and turned into just casual. Like Damon Runyon used it in Guys and Dolls as a throwaway line for a gangster, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably where the Disney guys got it.
Yeah,
because it had turned into where it was neutered and not and seemingly not offensive, but it really is about a physical
which now he's called
someone
Romeo McGraw,
Romeo, because he's got puckered up lips like he's gonna kiss you, and and which is funny. That's great.
Like he's got like a
pompadour,
like a little pompadour now.
Yeah. He's like Elvis, basically.
Yeah.
Well, and in was it the Vacation show?
He was Elvis.
He did Elvis because it fit, because he looked, it looked like he was singing Elvis. So I'm okay with the name change. People getting up.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Like, come on, it's fine.
I mean, the show, as much as I think it's aged very well in its horniness, and it is still very funny. It is shocking how long it's lasted, because they already edited a bunch of stuff out. There was some fat shaming that got taken out. I don't know, probably 10 years ago now. And then, I feel like the last couple years when I was in Florida, I was like, we're like, Mama don't, whoop little Buford. Just shoot him, why don't you shoot him instead? I thought that's not gonna last. I mean, the funny thing about all these songs is they sound like original songs for Disney, like for the show. They're all just normal country songs. They're just kind of B-sides and they're not as well known as they never threw in a Dolly Parton or anything, and because they probably couldn't afford it. But I mean, it's interesting it lasted this long, and I think it's had a great legacy. If I had my way, I would take like Carousel of Progress and this, and I would somehow give them to the Walt Disney Family Museum. Or
that's a great idea.
I always thought, why don't you just take Country Bears and put it over in, Wilderness Lodge, like as a thing that you can do as a guest, just something random and small, and but at least it's sticking around. I'm happy about that. Yeah. Let's talk about other weird things that are leaving, like legendary things that are leaving Magic Kingdom next door. The Haunted Mansion is seeing, of course, the recent arrival of the Hatbox Ghost, who was took the place of the Donald Duck chair, if I remember correctly, the classic chair. That is, if you're thinking of the ride, he is between the floating candelabra effect and the 13 grandfather clock. And now the floating candelabra is gone. It was in the concept art gone as well. I don't know if we knew that was going to happen or not. It doesn't feel like, you don't put everything in concept art, so I don't think people thought too hard about it. But yeah, I have an interesting opinion about this, Dave and Saara. I'm curious what you think.
Okay. Well, it says it's going to come back. I mean, there's the all the indications online said that it's out, but will return, I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
People
are nervous.
I never believe concept art anyway.
Yeah.
But why would it be out of the? Maybe the concept art is, I don't know. Is it a mistake that it wasn't in the concept art? But
that's the thing, right? So the rumors fly. Here's my thing. I kind of get why it should go away. Something we've talked about previously with the new Hatbox Ghost. He's not a focal point. It's a strange. If you look at the mise-en-scene that you're stuck with in that moment, he's on one side and the candelabra's floating on the other, and there's this weird juxtaposition. I don't want it to go away per se, but I think if you refocal the lighting on him and kind of reassess it, perhaps it works better for the scene overall. But we'll see what they end up doing. I don't know why. Sometimes effects go away for a little while and they're like, we're getting it back, and you're kind of like, well, what was wrong with it? Like, that's not a hard effect. Like,
or maybe it's just something
light
being refurbished. I don't know.
Yeah,
because I was gonna say, like, half the time they're not even working. So it's like, if you have something that's working, why would you just take it away? It makes no sense.
I swear to God, they would save themselves so much trouble if they would just have a maintenance list on the website.
The fact that this stuff gets the fact that this gets any like press at all is like, really? Like 20 years ago, these effects would be turned on and off and be refurbed and in and out all the time. And it's not like they people at the Disneyana conventions talked about it, right? Like, that's the only equivalent. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get your knickers in a bundle. These things always change.
Yeah.
Then again, at Disneyland, we're used to it because it closes once a year for a few months to and there's always
you
something.
guys have an original Haunted Mansion, right? It's not just Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that true?
We do.
Here?
We do.
Well, this year, didn't they said that they're going to be extending it for the next
year
year too.
Long.
So
the benefit of it, though, I do like when the normal one comes back, but the benefit is all of the lighting, everything gets maintained better. Lamps get changed, the lights get refocused. It's always looking brand spanking new when it comes back as the regular mansion, because there's always a million hands in there touching everything and putting it back, and we get new effects out of it too. Yeah. Right. We get new things and new subtle little nods.
Well,
it's very consistent.
My opinion, though, is the East Coast has the better Haunted Mansion, but the West Coast has a better Pirates. I think that seems to be that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
You guys have a little longer Pirates. You have the swamp, and you have
there's
a little more the Blue Bayou and all of that.
Right.
And we it's just made larger here. Like, you don't have to have the elevator for one. Like,
and the exterior is incredible in Florida. Like, I thematically I love the one here because it is this anchor of New Orleans Square. But and it's the original, right?
Of course.
So I have a soft spot for it. But I do agree with you there. I prefer the one in Florida.
Yeah. Let's move over to Epcot. Saara, we have an exciting exciting new offering for annual pass holders at Epcot. Hit us with it.
Yeah, I don't even know if oh my god, this is so stupid that we're doing this right now. But you know what? If you're an annual pass holder, you can go ahead and get yourself a Hey freaking waffle at Epcot.
Hey.
Woohoo!
On the 29th, y'all. Go get your waffle. What do you want me to say? Like,
That's
Waffle.
it. It's just really funny. It's like an Onion article. Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like,
why is this being announced? Why is the thing? Why?
do you think that if you went up and ordered it, they would say, "Can I see your AP pass?" Like, do you legitimately think they'll ask for it?
It depends. It depends. I feel like, but not really.
Can you fathom
it's a lot
being
of people-
denied something at Disney? Like, when's the last time you've been denied giving them money? Like, it's insane.
And the picture is ridiculous because it's like it's a waffle with a tiny little piece of white chocolate
that
on it.
stupid
That's got a Hey
fucking
printed on
white
it.
chocolate piece they put on everything, and I
That-
like
that has
white
a-
chocolate.
Yeah. So it's
It's $4.19, by the way. So yay!
I mean, for a Disney waffle, it's not terribly priced, but
But it's not that big.
But
It's
it's
like,
probably like a
waffle.
nickel. Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Good
that's a
profit.
weird. I feel like waffles should have been an easy like cart thing that Disney could have really went for.
well, they need to do them like the Dutch do and the Belgian waffles. that
Yeah.
you eat, like a snack rather
Yeah.
than knife and fork it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and I think
Or
that's
they
what
could have done
is
like
this
the
a-
bubble waffles. This one.
Isn't this
This
kind
one
of,
is kind of.
It's a liege waffle, right? Or however
It's a
you say it?
liege waffle.
Yeah, it's a liege waffle.
Yeah, that kind
Belgian,
of.
Belgian waffle,
So.
Yeah.
which is not
nothing-
Belgian, by the way.
Well, but
Really?
nothing says more Polynesian and islands than a Belgian waffle.
Than a waffle.
Than a Belgian waffle. It actually they were introduced at the 1964-65 World's Fair, and they were called Belgem, BELGEM, I believe. And I don't know why. I think it may have been a brand name, but it's over the years has become Belgian waffle. And I don't. Somebody out there is going to clock me for this that I'm wrong, but there's something about it, like it as a snack, not as a thing you put on a plate, that appeared at the World's Fair.
I'm looking
Anyway.
it up. I'm looking it up right now. The Belgian waffle. You're right. You're right.
See?
I don't want people coming after you, Dave. I'm very protective. The first turned up at the 62 Seattle World's Fair.
Seattle World's Fair. Okay, so we got the date wrong. All right.
Yeah.
But pretty
and
close.
But it was, let's see here. Many people believe they were first introduced at the NYC World's Fair, but the credit actually goes to Seattle. However, it was at the 64 Fair that it caught on. Mm-hmm. What else was at the 64 Fair, Dave?
Great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Yes.
And It's a Small World.
Yeah. What at?
And the dinosaurs from the train at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Which was part of the Ford Futurama ride.
The whole Ford ride, yeah. Which
The whole Ford
rules.
Skyway, yeah.
Basically early Worlds of Motion.
Yep.
Kind of.
Innovative things with a waffle.
I tell you what, I don't like. Sometimes it's hard for me to decide. Like, oh, where would you go if you could travel in time? 64 World's Fair. It seems
Pretty
prime.
great. Yeah.
Like
that would be pretty great.
that's. I mean, waffles, and you're right. Like Small World.
Just be sure to wear your Tomorrowland pin when you ride Small World. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't want to go down the chute. I want to enjoy everything. But that's for all 5 people that have seen Tomorrowland.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm sure you've seen Tomorrowland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. As we're saying.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally.
So, let's go to Disneyland and the Disneyland Resort. Okay, this one is for you West Coasters. I have no opinion because I don't know this vibe as well as you do. Tell us what's
Yeah.
going on. This is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, this is a huge deal. So the Disneyland Resort is actually going to be building new entry gates. So they got a permit last year in December. There's going to be gates for California Adventure as well as the Disneyland Park, which they will be kind of focusing on making them a bit more accessible for people with wheelchairs as well as people that have strollers. So this is great because the current system that they have right now, they have the two like kind of turnstile gates right here, and then in the middle they have like a big gate that they
Right.
can swing open where they can have a stroller or somebody who has a wheelchair coming through. But What's kind of difficult about that is that they still have to wait in those 2 lines rather than just having one dedicated line to those types of, I guess, vehicles that would be going through.
They will probably also, I predict they'll also, build in the Magic Band scanner.
Yes,
and also
most likely.
a barcode scanner for printed and barcode tickets. And I bet you they also put in a permanent camera system because at Disneyland, when you bring your one-day ticket and get it scanned the first time, they take your photo. And right now it's a little janky. They're doing it on like
with the phone,
little iPhones that are part of the park network, and it's instantaneous. It goes right onto your account. But I think they're going to streamline that a little. That would be where my money is.
Because those morning crowds are really, really rough. Like, it's a long line. Sometimes the lines will be mixing between the 2 gates.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
it's like Tokyo Disney out there in the morning.
So it's great that they're doing something like this, kind of just making it a little bit quicker for you guys to get into the parks. So, yeah, all for it. This is great.
Let me ask you, do you, I'm trying to remember where security is there. Where's is security over by downtown or on the other side, like by
where
downtown?
you park?
Okay,
security is there's one at the bus drop off. There's one at the parking garages, and there's another coming from the hotels
Downtown
into
Disney.
Disney.
Is it straight walk through, or are they still fingering your
No,
bags?
they're still
No.
I
Fingering your
bet you
bags?
that gets
doesn't
changed
sound.
next.
I
But
shouldn't
they
say,
do finger your bags.
I
There's
don't.
a whole lot
should
of
say
fondling in the bag.
Kind of finger your bag. Fingering your bags.
We saw.
I don't know why. I can't visually.
Security
I
there.
can't just be. And now we're visual, and I'm over here fingering bags. I can't do that.
Last time I was in line there, the guy that got stopped ahead of me had a cooler full of beer, first of all,
Wow.
and a hunting knife
Okay, cool.
in his belt, attached to his back of his belt,
Well,
and he thought that was no problem.
in California?
I mean,
Come on now.
That's why they have to. He's going to go after them country bears. You gotta be careful.
The main thing that people get like stopped for would be like weed pens.
Weed
They'll
pens.
just like send them
Weed
back.
pens.
That's
yes.
the main thing.
All the
Like
time.
they'll get stopped for
That's
and
why
then
you
they'll
bring-
just send them back.
You gotta
That's
bring
why you
edibles.
bring edibles, or you take them
Yeah,
before
bring
you
an
go in
edible.
the park.
Look,
Yeah.
I find. Let me tell you a little something about that. I'm sure my neighbor, who's right behind this wall in our townhouse, I'm sure he doesn't listen to this or watch this. So I'm just gonna say it. Sometimes this room reeks of weed, thanks to my neighbor.
Oh.
And I know it's happening.
Yeah, my
Because-
upstairs guy, smoker.
The one
man.
down there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm just like, get an edible, motherfucker. Like, come on. Like, I got him. It's fine.
He likes the vibe. Sometimes it's a vibe.
No. I come home and I can see, because of the windows, I can see when his fan is on. And I'm like, it's 40 degrees out here. I know why that fan's on. And I come up here and I'm baking. And it's
But
like,
edibles hit too hard sometimes, and you can't control how long. Whereas, like with a pen, I'm like, it'll be if it's too much, I just wait for 20 minutes and I'm good.
That's maintenance. I don't want to maintenance. I just do little at a time. Just a little at a time.
Well, see, you have self-control. The rest of us see a cute little snack, and we're like, okay, we're going to eat this whole snack.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, no.
I suppose.
That's our issue.
No.
I suppose. Yeah, and you shouldn't be doing that at Disney World. I mean, we're talking about Disneyland. We can't do it at Disney World. That's not legal. Here, come on, Disney, come over to Maryland. Just take over the entire peninsula. It's all good.
Go up all the East Coast.
Yeah, I did hear a story once. I'm trying to remember where they were checking bags and someone forgot they had a bunch of edibles and they didn't want to throw them out, so they just ate them all before they went into the park, and it was a rough day. It was a really rough day. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
That would be a horrible time. Well, maybe a fun one. I don't know, depending on which way you go.
Too much, and I get super paranoid. Like I need to
I can't no more.
light touch.
The first time it's all edibles for me, but I smoked the one time, and we were watching the Muppet Show, and
Oh my God.
what I recognized very quickly was I'm way too high. This is not fun. For my first time, I was like, we were just watching them in order, and I was like, why is this so long? But every time I blink, it's a new guest. It was very confusing. And then
when I'm too high, time goes out the window, and it's so
Yeah.
and your brain doesn't know how to process it. Yeah,
And then
I know that.
I feel like I'm going through things. Like, that's my thing.
Oh.
Like, I
Did
feel
you
like
ever
I'm
text
going
on your
through
phone,
everything.
what's it like to have a panic attack? Because I did. I was like, am I having a panic attack?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
The
That's what
worst
it
one
feels
that
like.
I've Yeah, the worst one that I've ever had was it was 2 years ago, and it was off Pop Rock edibles. It was so fucking stupid. I ate the whole Pop Rocks thing, and so I literally thought that I was dying. I had called my partner at the time, and he was at the Starbucks, and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm dying. Something is wrong. Like, I literally was in tears. I had never cried so. It was a very cathartic experience.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was dead, and for a solid month and a half afterwards, nothing felt real. I think I had ego death. I swear to you, I think I had ego death.
The only time I had a really, really great experience being high in the parks was I had an edible sort of early evening, and it hit right as World of Color started.
Oh, boy.
And it was a really, really warm day, and so we went right to the front where you get a little wet. And World of Color, let me tell you, World of Color high, so
beautiful.
good.
Nothing like a day that starts with getting your bags fingered, and then at the end of the day you get a little wet. It's good. It's a good day. It's a good day at the parks.
Good day.
Yes.
All right. I'm trying to think if there's any other good stories I have about. Not really. Yeah, I'm chill now. You're probably not going to notice.
I had a good experience.
I notice only because I feel like I'm talking too much. Let's talk about someone who does transform, but not because of a weed. And that is, of course, our good friends from Turning Red. Saara, let's talk about this meet and greet.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to watch that movie high either.
Ooh. I grew a tail. I'm growing. I can feel
I
it.
don't think you would want that. But Maylin and Mingli from Turning Red are going to be meeting over at California Adventure for the Lunar New Year Festival. They are actually already there. They started on January 23rd, and they will be there until the very end of the Lunar Festival, which I believe is about mid-February. It's not a very long festival, so if you want to get to see them, get there while you can. They look so adorable. Maylin, she's so cute. She's so cute with her little ears. She's so cute. She's kind of like in human form.
The tail just kills me. The tail kills me. It's so cute.
So cute. It's an adorable costume. They look so great. So definitely go ahead and check them out. I don't think that this is going to be a reoccurring thing. It feels like it's just for the Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah. I mean, I want the big cuddly panda costume as well.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
That would
have been
if they could do some sort of transition effect where she poof, and then it's the and then it's the big. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But just her alone with she's like half.
She's really cute,
right? She's got the ears and the tail.
Yeah.
The furries are going to go nuts.
And her mom looks amazing.
Amazing. She looks so good.
So
the casting's incredible.
And let me be the first to say, I just want to put this out there. None of you motherfuckers better hand any of these to a tampon. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you TikTok bros come out here
think of that.
and start handing out tampons. I don't want to see it. And if I do, I'm coming after you.
You've manifested it in the world, Nathan.
Yeah, it's just ruined
No,
now.
I didn't manifest. You can't blame this on me. You can't blame TikTok shit on me. I'm the guardian at the gate. I'm saying right now.
You're the gatekeeper.
I'm holding it down, and I'm saying,
yes.
don't you
better
put?
not
I'm
do
putting
that
the secret of the don't do out there. The secret, but it's no X to
If
you.
you end up on Beware Our Guest next week, bitch,
Yeah.
I am coming for you. Don't
Yeah.
you dare do some bullshit like that. Please don't.
I will slap. I will slap a bitch.
Don't be weird.
We're gonna name and shame and drag if you do that. Come on.
You
Yes.
deserve to be dragged.
Though, counterpoint. I also like the idea of us being a culture that is okay talking about tampons and is okay with doing it.
True.
And it would be
True.
good. I just think that it's going to be some dude bro who does it,
Yeah.
who holds it like a grenade he's never touched before, instead of a female who can have a one-on-one, full-on second wave feminism moment with these two characters.
Not second wave.
Probably second wave. Probably second wave.
I feel like third.
Well, maybe. We'll see. I guess
A little bit third.
I'm not up enough to decide which are the better waves for it. But I feel like feels very second wave to even talk about tampons as a center.
A little bit.
But again,
Fair.
don't come at me. I don't know. I'm a guy. I don't know shit. So anyway, that's as much as I know.
Well, Okay,
I just saw myself getting stuck in the internet
As
corner.
men,
I was just like,
do
no.
you guys-
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. with video now, they know what you look like.
God.
But as men, would you guys carry like tampons for like your female friends?
Of course.
Like if you guys were like, oh, I have female friends, I know that they're gonna be around me all the time. Should
Oh.
I just have them on me?
You mean
on
just-
hand?
If they
Wait.
requested, sure. I
No,
not that
like
I do.
you got them on you. Yeah.
You mean
not
like
that I do, but
like a bandolier just strapped on like Chewbacca?
Yeah, but just like, what you want? I got you. I got you. Like that's what, like that type of, or like just like in your car, in your bag, in your room. I don't know.
Here's
like,
the thing.
that type of vibe.
This might sound weird, but I think that a gay friend could get away with it, and a straight friend, it gets a little different. I don't know if I'm putting weird cultural walls on it, but I don't know even of my close girl like friends that are girls that would be like, oh, thank you. So like, if they were like, oh no, and I was like, ha ha ha, like,
right. That's
I
a little.
don't know.
I think I don't think any of my female friends would expect me to have one, and it might be a little creepy if I did. However, if we're like going out and they have their purse isn't big enough, or we're going to a nice club and they've got a skimpy little outfit, and they know that I've got big pockets. Sure.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Yes.
of course.
I'm
whatever.
happy to be a tampon mule. Like, I
got your
you can
back.
put him on my back, and like I'm happy to carry him. I just don't.
Because the reason that I asked is because this was literally a debate on TikTok, because there was a girl that had gone to this guy's house, and he was like stocked with like products. Like he had all the things. Like he even had hair ties. He had shampoo. He had like everything for what a girl might need to stay.
Like,
the
was
night.
she dating?
But
Like,
that's-
was it a guy that?
No, like it was a dude that she just like. They're still early.
He
on.
does that. He does
know
that
what I
because
mean?
he's a player, and girls stay the night.
Right.
And it.
At least he's a nice player. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
I think that's creepy.
It is
think it's
creepy, but I'm
creepy.
saying like it's creepy because there's so it's like how many girls do you go
Right,
through
that- like-
Right.
that you need that many? But then it's so funny because
every
it's like,
month,
well,
apparently.
apparently. But then it's like maybe it's so is it wrong? Is it kind of like reverse sexism for me to think it's creepy because that's what men should
There's
do?
no such thing as
to be
reverse
considerate
sexism.
of-
Like,
no,
there's
no,
no such
I
thing
know,
as
but I'm
reverse
saying
sexism.
like there's no reverse sexism. But I'm saying like in a world where it's like, oh, we want men to be more considerate of women and women's issues. Is it mean that we might think it's creepy?
No, but it's a capitalist ploy to convince me that I need to buy every variation of tampon, so I have them available.
I don't know.
If necessary.
I don't know if you need heavy flow. I don't know what size you want. I don't know if you're a pad gal. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many variables.
Like I need it
there.
all, but you need it all. Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
It was just a very Anyways,
Just a
this is not
drawer
Disney
stock.
related at
That's
all.
a lot of space for a house of
Right?
just a man. But
It's weird. It was so weird. He had like hair ties, shampoo, like makeup remover. Like,
no,
what
no.
is
See,
going on?
my brain goes the dark place. Like he has all
It's
that
like, who-
because he's
where's your
harvested it from purses from women he's killed. You know what I mean? Like that's where my
that's
brain
scary.
went. Why do you have all these? Right? That's
Yeah.
the tampon killer
my mind
is
would
loose
go
once
like,
again.
you have a girlfriend, like you're cheating on your girl. That's where my mind would go.
that's it. Yeah. See, there you go.
See?
Yeah.
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 Dark place.
Anyway,
Anyway,
men and periods.
wow.
Love that for y'all. Well, it was on the movie. It was in the movie.
Yeah, it was in the movie. Anyway, great costumes. We're very excited about it.
Yes.
I think this is a win. It looks fun. Let's go to the Disney company. We are going to begin with a pretty cool thing, which is Lanny Smoot, who's an Imagineer for Disney. And is a guy I didn't get an opportunity to say hello, but I did hear him speak at TEA this year. He was there helping with the award stuff. And it's kind of cool to be part of the community now a little bit because I showed up and I was like, wait, why do I? And I was like, oh, I was in a room with that guy. It's kind of fun. It's makes me feel a little nerdy.
That's awesome.
But anyway, he is a really incredible guy, and he is the second person ever at Disney to be inducted in the National Inventors Hall of Fame after Walt Disney, and that was a posthumous thing. I think Disney deserves it for his work in animation and things of that nature. But Landy's the first Imagineer to ever be a part of it. Which is really, really cool. They show off some new tech as well. They show off a thing called the Hollow Tile, which basically the best way to think about it is a floor kind of thing that allows you to walk in place for things like VR and things of that nature, without, running into your wall, which is pretty handy. But lots of R&D things that he's done over the years. Lots of his stuff has shown up, of course, in the parks throughout the years as well.
He made Leota float in the seance room. He did the extendable lightsaber for Disney Live Entertainment. He did the interactive play floor, the magic play floor on the Disney cruise lines.
Basically a magician.
He's legendary. I mean, the dude has 74 patents that were created at Disney during his 25 years there. Like he's the real deal. Like, this is a guy that before Disney worked for Bell, and the patents and stuff he was involved in there were the basis of what we now have in video calling and video streaming and on-demand video. Like, he's like OG engineer in a lot of what we take for granted, not only at Disney Entertainment, but just in day-to-day life. So he's the man.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think he's a Disney legend yet, but I imagine that will happen at some point.
No, he is what they call a TEA master.
He is a TEA master. This is why he spoke, because he was inducting new TEA masters into the program.
He's incredible, and the hollow tile thing. My brain was like, oh, I have so many things I want to use this on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really, really cool. But I think that like YouTube has broken our brains. I was pretty upset. This is kind of dumb, maybe, but I think it's important. Kind of upset with what Disney did with their thumbnail for his video, for his, hey, here's what I'm up to and here's my induction. It's just a picture of him and it says new tech revealed. I'm trying to think here if let me bring it up here. Disney Imagineer makes history is what it says. That's kind of okay, but it's all sort of burying the lead on what's actually cool. And it puts a layer of I've heard people say, well, this is how you get people to watch something they might not normally watch. Okay. But I'm not sure it's an appropriate way to celebrate a legend. I think, say the band's name, Disney, like in the thumbnail, and you deserve that kind of respect. And I hate when social media does this shit where it's like, well, the only way we can get people is if we treat them like they're the stupidest people of all time. And they only care about, they're pigs at a trough, and we got to give them tech or something new or breaking something, It's a shock that Mr. Beast's face wasn't put on top of Smoot's and been like, look, it's a Disney. Blah. So, I hate that. I hate it. But that's not his fault at all. Just Disney do a better job. Let's move on to something I actually am pretty happy about. Not Disney related. Well, it's Disney related in theory, as it is a Lucasfilm property. But it has been released officially with some gameplay revealed for the new Indiana Jones video game that's coming to Xbox. It is a Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. This is I think the first time we've had a first-person Indiana Jones video game, if I remember correctly. I think they've all been third.
Yeah, there's been third-person ones.
Yeah, and side-scrolling for Super Nintendo.
Side-scrollers
and some other stuff. Yeah. But this works. This is being executive produced by Todd Howard, who people know from Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Fallout 4.
Elder Scrolls and Fallout, yeah.
Yeah, and this is being done by Machine Games. It's Bethesda
publishing it, like.
Yeah, with Machine Games, and Machine Games is the ones that worked on Wolfenstein for them, and Wolfenstein, the two Wolfenstein games. I don't really love the '80s one with the daughters, but the two main games are some of the best first-person shooters ever made. Incredible storytelling. Incredible use of physicality, that sort of thing. And just from the gameplay, like being able to use your whip and knock things out of people's hand and twist them around and punch them. And like, people are kind of like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. And I can guarantee you it's going to work, because these guys, they're used to, they did the remake of Doom. Like, they're used to doing these fast-paced, but not something that's hard to do with your hands. So I'm pretty stoked. This looks great. I think, Yeah, the animation's a little fine. It's not the best I've ever seen. Troy Baker does
But it's Troy Baker.
He does
Yeah.
a pretty good Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It's
He was Joel in the Last of Us game.
Yes.
So in both of them. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I also
think he
like
does a good job.
the Uncharted series are my favorite games, pretty much of all time. And so I was like, wait, Indiana Jones Uncharted, but it's also first person, so it's puzzling. It's
there's
not
puzzles.
just combat; it's
Yep.
puzzles and
however you want to do it, sneak
down.
in and you can fight through or sneak in, and that's very much like Wolfenstein. That was a lot of what those games did too. But if they add that more,
Is there a release date or anything?
Later this year, so it's coming out this year. It's on Game Pass. I love it for me, so I don't have to buy it by itself. I don't know if it's coming anywhere else. We'll see. I think this is going to be an exclusive.
Xbox exclusive first,
yeah, at least for a while. But I'm very excited for that, and it looks wonderful. Okay, well, let's go to segments. That's the news, and we had so many this week. I had to pare them down. That's how bad it was.
Bad.
Yeah, because we got a lot of Beware Our Guest. Okay, so let's go through this. The first one is, this is a title from WWNT.com. Florida man destroys bus door when he's dropped off at Disney World. He wanted to visit SeaWorld.
Real.
So,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm that cat.
He was on a Lynx bus from downtown Orlando's main station, and he fell asleep. And he woke up at the bus drop-off at Disney Springs, where the driver told him this was the last stop. So he slept through to the last stop. The bus driver said that he got off the bus, and that's when he became irate and started to yell and curse at him. He then, the guy closed the doors, of course, because that's smart. And he was not very happy about that. He says that when the bus driver would not allow him on the bus, Elijah, I'm trying to think of the guy's name here. Let's see if I can find
Thomas.
it. Thomas Elijah.
Elijah Thomas.
Elijah Thomas.
No, Elijah Thomas.
Elijah Thomas, 37.
37 years old,
Not even
sir.
that old.
No, it's just Florida man. That's all we
Florida
need to
man.
know. Florida man.
Yeah.
He was not happy, and he began to kick the bottom glass of the front door, causing it to break into a spiderweb pattern. So he was upset. That is going to be a $500 fix. He then left Disney Springs and began walking on foot, but he did not get very far. Authorities stopped him at Buena Vista Drive. Basically, that's how it worked out. So then he was taken
At Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah, around that.
That's where he was
the
identified.
bus driver. Yeah, that area. So, I don't know what I don't know what situation you're in when you're like sleeping on a bus and then but then you're also trying to get to SeaWorld. So,
I kind of understand because that happened to me when I was in Paris. Because the train from like Central Paris to Disneyland Paris, you got to get off at it's 2 stops you got to get off at, because otherwise you're going to end up in the countryside. And I was a dumbass and I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up in the countryside. And so I didn't have the correct ticket, and then they fined me, and they were being mean to me, and they were laughing at me because I was an American.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck you, bitch. But anyway, so I understand why he was upset. What would have been a 30-minute ride for me ended up being 2.5 hours.
ugh.
So, but good thing Disneyland Paris is super small. Got to finish it real quick.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, SeaWorld's not close to that. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible to make that walk, but it's not great. It wouldn't be something I would want to do.
was it just him? Did he have
Seems
family?
like that was it. The family
Was
would have
he
woken.
visiting?
He would have been woken up by family. That's what I don't get about this story. Is like, you're a guy who has enough money to get on a Lynx bus and I guess go to SeaWorld, but not enough money to get an Uber.
But he's coming from downtown. Maybe he worked at SeaWorld. Like it didn't. Say, maybe he was trying to get to work.
Maybe he's going to lose his job or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a rough. I mean, I get if that's the scenario. Like, Orlando's dog shit for public transport.
It's
like
bad.
it's horrible, and it's not great, and that's really the only kind of jobs you can get. So, I I don't know, like, but you know what? Maybe don't get irate and cost yourself $500. So that's not good, not good. But you know what's even worse is when you bite your sibling. You know, when you're at Disney and you bite your sibling. No, I get what you're asking me. You're saying, of course,
so normal.
You're saying, of course, people bite their siblings. There's all these kids around. Of course, they kind of bat at each other, and they're always fighting because that's what brothers and sisters do, and they sometimes bite each other.
59 and 60, not when they're 59 and 61 years old, though.
59
right?
and 61 years old. So adult sister bites sibling on the arm, gets arrested
on their dad's 96th birthday. Too,
yes, let's talk about this.
What is happening?
So they were celebrating their dad's 96th, which, by the way, kudos to this guy for sticking around at 96 and being able to, like, if I'm 96, you're probably like, just like barely taking me to, like, I'm just like, is dad enjoying it? I can't. So hopefully he's having a good time. Well, the two adult daughters got into a fight. One sister was accused of biting the other, ended up getting arrested. Ann Warren, 61, of Crystal Lake, Illinois, was charged with domestic violence and has pleaded not guilty to a misdemeanor. Warren was arrested on November 5th. Of course, Orange County takes a while to get these things out, so that's why some of these are a little older. Apparently, Warren and her 59-year-old sister were arguing when they returned to their hotel room after spending the day together and eating dinner to celebrate their dad's birthday. The sister told authorities Anne became aggressive and bit her on the right arm. There were red marks on the sister's arm. I just like that we've got a Charlie Bit Me story as a Disney thing. You know, like,
dude, she snitched.
Yeah, who does?
Like
if
that?
my sister, and I don't have a
Over a
sister,
bite?
but if my sister or brother bit me on the arm, even at like in my 50s or 60s, I don't think I'm gonna like call the cops on them.
That's
Yeah.
the part that's weird. Like,
because like my sister and I, we're grown. Like she's 22, I'm 25. Like we still fight like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna call the cops. I'll just be like, oh, are you hungry? Like 2 hours after, and we'll forgive each other.
Right.
Like that's it.
The report says. The sister did not give Anne permission to touch her in any matter. Yeah, I imagine she wasn't like, here you go, take a chunk. But yeah, so I don't know why it escalated. This is not a story that's in this week because there's a lot of other stuff to talk about, but there's another story about a guy getting super drunk and like hitting a CM at like Citrus, and he and his family was like, we don't want him here. He's drunk and we can't handle him, and we're trying to have a birthday, and like they didn't want him to show up, and he was just there drunk. And maybe there was alcohol involved in this one too, but like, y'all, cut it out. This is nonsense.
Let's be grown.
They be wilding.
This is. What's so weird is, and I don't want to. I'm going to bring class into this because I think it's important for the theory of my point here. But generally, when you hear these sort of wild and sort of domestic abuse stories, they don't normally come from like upper middle class people, because they keep it quiet or whatever. But and so there are, you know, lower class, again, these aren't my classes, I'm just saying what it is, lower classes that get kind of like, oh well, they fight a lot and da 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 da. It's like, no, upper middle class people fight too. They maybe just don't scream on the street or something, and because the cops aren't patrolling their neighborhoods because cops are guardians of the states.
They just murder each other and then end up covering it up.
Yeah. And so I think you get these middle class people that like this stuff's pretty normal in the everyday life, but they end up in public and for a week, you know, to celebrate Dad's 96th, and they can't hide it. Like they can't shuffle it into the corner and it only gets whispered at the country club. Like this stuff happens. It's just something.
But it's also like 60 years of beef. You know what I mean? Like they might not even be seeing each other for like all those years, and then they just come together for his 96th birthday.
Oh,
then there you go.
That's probably part of it.
You know what I mean?
Like they're only 59.
There's always
years?
It's always at like a wedding, a funeral, and a birthday is when shit like this pops off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can't imagine there
You
was.
know?
They don't mention alcohol, but I can imagine.
Most likely.
They got to get it together. They're going to kill their father if they keep this up.
Maybe
Die
it keeps
of
him
shame.
alive. Maybe all the drama's keeping him going.
Oh, that old bastard. Anyway, I don't know the guy. Sorry, dude. Nothing against you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
November birthday. Dave, you have a couple more Beware guests. We have so many this week, and I cut them down. But we have one, and then we have a special one. So we'll talk about that too.
Oh, yeah. So what is it with people getting off the boat on Small World?
I don't know.
Like, it happened again, this time in Paris.
Yeah.
A woman stepped into the trough, rolled up her jeans, and because there was a slight stoppage of the ride, temporarily delayed, rolled up her jeans, stepped in the water, which is filled with stuff, by the way. Don't do that. You don't know what you're going to step on. And then brought her kids and lifted them onto the scenery. And
Four of them, I think.
Yeah, 4 kids. And just started leaving. And meanwhile,
around.
the announcements are coming in English and in French loudly. Remain seated, remain inside your boat, over and over and over again. And she's just like, "Meh, whatever, you know. What are people thinking here? Like, okay, if your kids need to go to the bathroom or something, I understand the urgency.
But they piss their pants. That's what happens.
That's what happens,
That's what
right?
happens. Yeah. And you're down for a code.
Like in the pictures, it's definitely
or-
the last scene, right? It's the last celebratory.
Well,
the world.
these
the world
things happen.
What,
This happened at Three Amigos recently too, right? Where like I think they can see the end, and they're like, I have no more patience. You are not entertaining me anymore. I have other things I want to do. I don't know about Paris, but here it's the system has been created that forces me to ring out every second of my day. Am I going to get my money's worth? No, I can't do this. But there's that, and then there's like I'm going to roll up my shorts and step in water.
Yeah,
like
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be like a bridge to my kids so they could get on the set, and then we're just gonna walk off like nothing happened. Like
it's crazy.
It's just odd. It's so odd. But
just the thinking that whatever inconvenience you're having by sitting there is less important than literally putting yourself in physical danger.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
By stepping into water that you can't see the bottom of, that is filled with electrical components and moving parts and things to trip over and things to cut you. Like,
And
it's not
all of the small
meant
worlds
for people to be in.
All the small world's children's piss and poo in that water. They don't go anywhere. They stay there in their spots.
Yeah, that's their
Just
home.
shitting and pissing all the time. When you're not seeing them, they're pissing. Like that's just how it works. That's not
they're
hydraulic
nailed
fluid.
to the floor.
Yeah.
No, they're nailed to the
Yeah.
floor, so they just
They gotta
shit
shit
in
and
place,
piss,
and
and it rolls down.
right into the it's
Yeah.
gross.
Maybe it's something in Small World that just triggers people because
Well,
this is clearly not the first time. Because that other
The
guy
song,
that went,
I mean,
yeah,
you know,
Well,
I love it,
don't know.
but
Don't they? Don't they sometimes turn it off during these moments? I mean,
sometimes.
Sometimes.
And you hear the clicky clacky of all the kids, which is a
that's the
little creepy.
worst part.
yeah, that's
Ooh,
even
the
worse
worst
to be
part.
honest.
Yeah.
That's some like creepypasta. I mean, fun. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I think it's because these boat rides, they're one of the last things that we got that's like pretty open, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
you can move about, and it helps with load and unload.
They're going to be putting lap bars and seatbelts on Small World soon. Like it's
Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you,
boy.
and I know people have done weird shit. If you've ever read David Koenig's books, like the people have been doing stuff forever at the parks. I'm not saying this stuff is new, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. There's post COVID something.
There's a level of
Something
entitlement
in the
that
air.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're never doing
there's-
weird shit for fun. They're not like, oh, like I'm gonna go
No.
hang out with the pirates. For the most part, you get the, the TikTokers. But you're right. It's just like, oh, I've been inconvenienced for 5 seconds. I will not stand for it. So,
Yeah.
And
And
she's,
then
and
the
she's
question
French,
comes.
so yeah.
well,
And she's French, exactly.
I
Yeah,
didn't say
think
it.
the question
I
is
didn't say
like, is it the company that is pushing these policies that are causing people to go down the route of feeling like, oh, I only have so many minutes of my day, I need to maximize all of it, or
yeah.
is it you just being an asshole?
I
And
think
just being
that's
entitled
part of
to
it,
like, you
but
can't wait.
I think that's part of it. We talked about this last week with the people who started kicking and punching people
Oh yeah.
on the parade route. Like, part of that is, it's not easy to come to these places anymore. And sometimes people don't act they're not the best version of themselves at a long day at a theme park, and I understand that. It still doesn't excuse stupidity, which this is just dumb. Like you're literally putting your kids at risk by stepping into that water and walking them on a set that is not meant for people to walk on amongst electricity and moving parts and things that can injure them. Like it's just not safe. Yeah. And why, as a parent, you would put that above a mild inconvenience of sitting there, or even your kids have to, like, if your kids have to pee, let them stand up and pee in the floor of the boat. Like that can be cleaned. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No one will begrudge you that. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think it just goes back to that when I'm talking about entitlement, it just always goes back to class and race, because it's like there are certain groups of people within. I know this happened in Paris, but this is just a global thing. It is a certain class of people, a certain group of people that know that they will not necessarily get trespassed. They know that they won't necessarily get in legal trouble. They know that they won't necessarily get banned because of where they come from and their background. And I think that that's why a lot of the time you see that it's a very specific group of people that partakes in these activities as well.
And they had reservations for somewhere. They had to be somewhere. Yeah. You know?
Well, there is not a lot of, the wiggle room to make things work is so strenuous now and hard. Yeah. And you're right, though, Saara. I think that there is I think Disney has decided that's who they want to cater to, and they've acted like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you get. So,
yep.
I don't know what to tell you. Well, we have a special Beware Our Guest that is also part of our mailbag.
You know it's nice when the postman has a letter in a sack for you.
Dave, can you hit us with this special Beware Our Guest / mailbag?
Yeah, we got a great Beware Our Guest in a mailbag from Cade, who is a listener. Hi, Cade.
Hello.
He says, huge fan of the podcast. I was an annual pass podcast listener now, turned rat bastard, and I have a blast listening to you guys while I'm working. Oh, thanks, Cade. I found a TikTok out in the wild and was hoping it qualifies as a Beware Our Guest. A guest tried to bring a full-size suitcase onto Cosmic Rewind. Yeah. And it's all caught on camera. Nothing extremely crazy, but still made me think of you guys. Keep up the amazing content. You guys make my day with each new episode. Oh, Cade. Here's to new and exciting content in 2024. Do we want to watch that TikTok?
Of course. Here's the TikTok.
Oh, my God.
It is, as you can see, fairly wild. It's like he doesn't get it. He tries. He tries to get it on there.
Like literally a full-size rolly at his feet.
Yeah. He's desperate.
On a roller coaster.
Front row. It's
what
weird.
Do you...
Yeah.
What's in it?
It's probably his luggage.
He's a traveler.
This happens, and I get it. You can, what I don't understand is, well, I kind of understand it. So you can get done with your day at, you've checked out of a Disney resort or something, and at a Disney resort you can kind of say, hey, can you hold my bags? And they'll hold your bags.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Yeah. But he's probably coming from I don't know, a Wyndham or some Holiday Inn or something, and he's going to go from Epcot to the flight, right? That's his plan. I'm going to Uber from Epcot, and my flight is at 8, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to carry this thing with me all day. Which sucks. I don't want to do that.
But there are lockers that are big enough for a suitcase.
Yeah. And you can leave them at guest relations.
Are they big enough for a suitcase?
Yeah, you can leave stuff at guest relations as far as I know.
I'm sure you can.
Somebody out there tell us we're wrong, because I thought you could.
You could at one point, for sure.
Anyway, it's just idiocy. Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's.
Well, there's a bunch of luggage storage locations all around the city. That's also a thing.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. But this is, I've seen it before. But, and Epcot's one of those weird things that beyond that ride, can't take it on Mission Space. That would be pretty tight. I'm trying to think where else you could put it. Soarin', you'd be fine. Living with the Land,
you can roll
you'd be
it
fine.
and sit on the ground, right?
Yeah. So, it's kind of
the fact that it got through security is kind of funny too.
Yeah.
That's the part that's weird, right? How?
What?
Yeah, you think they would just kind of do like an airline and tag it. Okay, we're going to tag your bag, and it'll be at guest relations when you leave, But I can imagine that they really don't want to start acting like that's a thing they do. Because...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because then everybody does it, and they don't
Do
have
they
enough
allow
space.
wagons at Disney World? Do
no.
you guys have
Kid
wagons?
No. not anymore.
Yeah, like the kid ones, because we don't get them here anymore.
No.
So it's like if you're tagging the kid wagons, I feel like you should be able to tag a suitcase.
Yeah. That's valid. That's valid. And it's all going through a scanner anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. That's weird.
But Disney was probably like, ooh, yes, come fill up that suitcase with all our souvenirs. Go to Emporium. You know? They were
Get
all
it.
for
As long
it.
as it's empty, as long as it's empty, they'll let you bring it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though,
spend your money.
you know what? I know that doesn't work because I've never seen a reseller do it. Resellers don't bring in big pieces of luggage so they can throw in a bunch of stuff. They have to. It's all baby strollers, because they're allowed baby strollers, which is crazy. What a wild world we live in. But anyway, let's go on to another. We have 2 letters.
Another letter.
Who's this one from? This was from a tried and true. Dave.
Oh, tried and true fan, Joser. Hi, Joser. He writes us and says, "Howdy, rat kitties. It's Joser yet again. So, this newest episode where there was a continuation of sex positivity talk in relation to seeking sponsorships." Right, because we were trying to court
Yes,
the
we
sex
were.
toy industry to come
Yeah.
sponsors. I'm down with it. Whatever. Hello, cake. I love your
Same.
stuff. Do you know that this was episode 69? Right? Was it?
It was.
I thought it was. It
I
was.
think, let me double check. Let me triple check.
Damn.
I want to do a triple
Wow,
check.
look at us being in sync.
Let me do a triple.
Giggity.
Let me do a triple check on this. It was.
Giggity,
Ah,
giggity.
you're right. It's 59, not 69.
It was 59. I thought
So this is our 60th
Sorry, Joe.
episode.
so. 69's coming up though, so maybe we need to just. We
Full-
We'll reach out to some people.
A Sploosh Mountain exclusive episode.
Oh my gosh.
So
Amazing.
We'll find every
Send us
story.
all your weird things. Yeah.
Yeah, send us all your
Yes.
weird,
all your weird sex stories from Disney.
inappropriate couples sex stuff.
All
in
of
park.
it.
Send it to us.
I'll
for our
get out-
69.
We want to read
We'll
it.
get out some of the history books. We'll do some. We'll look at some of the older.
Oh,
ones
I have
too.
some doozies from when I was a tour guide at Universal.
It's a
I have
sex
some real
episode.
doozies.
It's a sex
Ooh.
episode.
Okay, we're making
a
it.
sex,
We're doing
a
it.
sex
Sex
episode.
a sex
A sex
episode.
episode.
A
Though,
sexcapade.
we said the
Yeah,
one was our
sex
super sexy
episode.
episode. We'll have to say it's our 69 episode. We got to remember. I'm gonna forget, and I'll be really sad.
So he then continues and says, "I'm with Janine regarding the imagination popcorn bucket." It's like Disney is really, really trying to get me on a popcorn bucket train by producing this one. Go get some cheese, you rodents.
yeah,
Thanks, Joe.
Ooh, we
love
love
you, Joe.
cheese.
do.
I do love that popcorn bucket. I already saw somebody online, somebody on Twitter turned it into a terrarium, which I thought was a
Yes.
brilliant
Yes.
idea.
So cool.
But I want that for the
Yeah.
land. Give me that. Give me the land.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I want a full set.
Ooh.
Give me every building.
Every
Give
pavilion.
me everything in popcorn
they
bucket.
should do
They
that.
should
That's
do
such
that.
a cool idea.
You can have it. It's kind of like one of those little Christmas villages, but it's all just popcorn bucket.
Oh my god.
Okay, gang, we have a new segment.
New segment.
And if you are only listening, this is a video exclusive. So you'll have to pop onto YouTube to find this video exclusive segment. So find it there and enjoy it. We were talking about, Dave, you now and then show us some interesting things in the chats. And I thought, wait, we need to share this with people. So now we bring you Cobb's Splendiferous Show and Tell. Aw, Dave, you look so good. I like you in that top hat. It's very
Thanks.
So cute.
very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, you're bringing some pure
I
imagination.
love. Thank you. It's I imprinted on that movie and Gene Wilder
Yeah.
fairly young, and I love that. So
It was-
the comparison is very flattering.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was
I-
somewhere
he's a
between
hero.
erasing an aspect of the neck and making sure there was no background on your beard that I thought, I'm spending too long on this. But I was too far in, so it happened.
It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. We need to sell
Perfect.
T-shirts.
Yeah, that is a bobblehead, actually. The rest of the body, weirdly enough. So
Now I want a bobblehead. I don't want to screw a Funko Pop. I want a bobblehead of myself.
yeah, I want a bobblehead.
That'd be so
bobblehead
cool.
of Dave.
So the way this came about was, I mean, obviously I've shown these guys stuff, in a private chat occasionally, things from my sordid history in working in theme parks and such. But this segment came about because over the holiday break, Jason, my husband, and I had a marathon session of cleaning out some closets and at the house. It's stuff we've been meaning to do, some big purging, lots of stuff to Goodwill, lots of stuff that I'm tagging to sell on eBay. Not always like, rare theme park collectibles or personal stuff, just in general, just getting rid of stuff. But invariably, I stumble across things from my collection that I forgot I had. And in this sense, we came up with a treasure trove of things, mostly photos, because I ended up finding a bunch of data CDs and zip drives. Remember those? I don't have a zip drive, so I have to get one to spelunk through those. But I found a couple of things that were marked MIB Photo Archive. And so I thought, oh, I have to look at these. But before we got to the photo archive, there was one physical thing in the closet that I forgot was there. So way we're doing this segment for those who are watching, the rest of the rats have not seen these photos. I've posted links for them to look at, so they get to react to them the same time that y'all do. So let's go ahead and open that first one. And this first one is physical pieces of the MIB art director's model. That were in the back of my closet. I kept this is the row of brownstones that are in that first big turn in the ride when after this crest spaceship.
Oh yeah.
And I saved these because I wanted to like pop out the windows and put in photos from my time on the project and use it like a funny photo frame on the wall. And I just never got around to it. It's
like a Men in Black advent calendar.
Advent calendar, right? Yeah. So this is a very rare piece of the model that's left. It was a very interesting model. Some of it's dimensional. A lot of it you can see are like color blow-ups from our color elevations, which was just a cost-saving measure. But these are models that are, I forget the scale of this, but it was what we informally call a head scale model, because it was built at such a height and there was no track, there was no floor where the track would go, so that you could literally sit in an office chair and drag yourself through the ride at head scale, so you would get all the right viewing angles. And it was how we would place targets.
And that's been done since like Pirates, at least. Like that's old school.
Yeah, if you see old footage from the old Disneyland TV series, they often have these head scale models. So that's what this was. There's not a lot of. I don't think there's much of this model left other than this. The Jay Picott, who is one of our architects on the project, he has a piece of it as well. He corrected me on Twitter or on Facebook because I posted this, and he's like, "No, I got one too." And he has the fish warehouse with the fish sign on top of it, which is right smack dab in the middle of the ride. So yeah, this is a piece of MIB history. Then I found this photo CD, and there was a lot on it, and it was just a backup of a photo dump of stuff during production. So go to the second photo.
Okay.
So the second photo. See, it says Project 13. That was the code name for the project while we were working on it. It was Project 13. And that is actually the ride vehicle. So that is a Cat in the Hat chassis, because if people don't know, the ride vehicle is derived from the Cat in the Hat. Same technology, same engineering, except for everything you sit on. All that's new. So that's a Cat in the Hat base, and with a new mock-up ride vehicle that's all made of plywood. So that's all just plywood bolted into place to give us our seating arrangement, and that's how we checked seating heights and where do the lap bars go, and and human interface stuff. Where do the game guns go? Where's the scoring element? All of that was done in plywood, and this is a very rare photo of that ride vehicle. And then go to pick 3. Then a lot of the CD had pictures like this, which were pictures of the figures before they went in. We documented, so a lot of photos were taken because they're given to maintenance.
Oh, sure.
For future reference, because they would get color swatches and paint swatches of everything, but then we'd take pictures of them with all the lights on, so they'd have reference of what the pictures look like or what the characters look like if anything ever needed to be repainted. So go to the fourth one. That's another one of my favorite aliens in the Times Square scene, the wanna buy a watch alien, as we call it. If you look, there's all these little watches inside his trench coat.
Yeah.
So two aliens in a trench coat. So yeah, just lots of fun photos like that. If you go to the
and that
the
one's like on set, right? That's the wanna buy a watch.
Yeah,
he's right there.
He's wanna buy a watch was in place, and then picture number 4 is the ambush alien. He's the one that this one is. It's if people have ridden it a number of times, they probably get this gag, but it's hard to see. Next time you go on the ride, don't shoot at it and watch what happens, because the back of his neck, if you look at it where it's green, if you see on the left, there's a little antenna sticking up. This alien was designed to look like those bugs that disguise themselves as something else, like the butterflies that look like big owl eyes and things. So when you come into this scene, he's folded over and he looks like a tiny little helpless alien with his hands up. And if you listen to the soundtrack, he goes, please don't shoot me. And then he goes, "Brunt," and he unfolds and says, 6 against 1, huh? And all the other aliens pop out of the trash cans and out of the boxes in the fish market and shoot at you. So it was like an ambush scene, and we wanted him to read as cute, "Don't shoot at me," at first. And it's such a fast gag, a lot of people don't get it the first time you ride. But it's one of those, again, a lot of thought went into what that alien is, and it's a very complex sort of, he's got 6 little arms with zappers that fold in, and he folds over, so he's like 2 different aliens. So this is a very rare shot of him, and the beautiful, beautiful sculpt, beautiful design.
Yeah.
So then we got to a bunch of photos. Don't open the next one yet. This takes a story.
Okay. Waiting on number 6.
So, number 5. No, we're on 5.
Oh, 5.
Now,
okay.
right?
No.
We're on 5.
5 or 6?
We're on 5. So, 5.
5. Okay.
So, oh no, sorry, 6.
6.
You're right.
Okay.
No, we're on 6.
We're on 6. Okay. Photo number 6. I have told this story many, many times, and I've never had photo evidence of it. I knew photos were taken, but I'd never had photo evidence of it until I found this damn CD that's been sitting in my closet for 24 years. Before the ride opened, about a month before it opened, we got a call from Universal Publicity that there was a celebrity and her family that wanted to come visit the ride, and even though it wasn't open, they wanted a tour. And it was none other than Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown and their kids.
What?
Yeah. So
Okay, now I have to open this photo.
Open number 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dave.
There's first of all,
Dave, you're
first
the
of all, there's
bodyguard.
Baby, I'm the bodyguard. There's baby Dave, touring Bobby and Whitney and their kids around, and they were loving it. The kids were fascinated by it and a little scared because the aliens are all weird, but they're all frozen in time.
Right,
and not
that's
moving,
even
which is
creepier.
a little scarier,
Yeah.
even, right? But they were loving it, and Whitney was very fun and animated, asking lots of questions, and there was a photographer following her. It was obviously going to be used for publicity or something, which is why I expected to see these photos sometime, but never did. So this is a story I've told a million times. Go ahead to the next photo, number 7. This one's funny because it's taken through the windows of the break room in the queue, and you can see Whitney there, and I'm talking with my hands, telling her some kind of story, and then this last photo is great. It's them just looking all smiles and me talking to them, right? And she's looking amazing,
Good.
She was so charming. My funny story about her was after the whole tour, the photographer was like, "Would you like a picture with Miss Houston?" And I'm like, "Oh, I would love one." And she waves me over and, puts her arm around me. And I just lean in very casually and I go, "Miss Houston, I am such a big fan." And she is posed for the camera ready to go, but she leans over and goes, I say, "I'm such a big fan of yours." She goes, "I know, baby, I know." Pose. Snap, photo taken. That's the photo that wasn't on
Icon.
here. But I was I'm in mid laugh because what better response do you want from Whitney Houston than that?
Yeah.
She just get a little casual shade from Whitney Houston.
She knows her
She said it
audience.
with a laugh. She knows her audience. She's like, "Oh, this queen over here, come on."
Yeah.
So yeah, she was delightful. And then I think was that number 8? That was number.
Yes, that was number 8.
Yeah, that was number 8.
we just did number 8.
Great. So that's and then I think the last one, number 9. Oh yeah, this one's funny too. This is we actually activated one of the aliens for them, the one that's hidden in the taxi cab. So it was down when they walked around the corner. And I told them, when we come around the corner, wait for my signal. I'll hold my finger up and it'll pop open. And that's Bobby's actual reaction. He's like, "Whoa!"
The way she's looking at him.
And look at
like,
her
"Come
looking at
on."
him too, like,
Yeah.
"Babe, it's
Like, be for real.
it's fake, babe. It's okay." So yeah,
Bobby,
that was
Bobby was one to react.
Bobby. And this is probably right in the middle of the TV show, right? Yeah, but this would be the right era, wasn't it? Like late 90s, early aughts, 2000?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I heard it. Bobby, come over here, Bobby. Like exactly like on the show. So, R.I.P. Whitney, you were amazing, and I'm very blessed to have these photos with you. I can't believe I finally found some evidence of this story that I've told for like 20 years.
That's great.
And then the last photo, this is just a little cherry on top. This is the production team, day before we opened. We took a little commemorative photo. And notice notice I'm in a suit with my sunglasses and my neuralizer.
Well, now I'm not going to
'cause I
remember
had-
this.
It's sharp.
That sucks. I was excited. To,
So-
That's the whole,
excited to
yeah.
remember. You're gonna neuralize me now.
The reason I'm in the suit there has a story as well,
Interesting.
and there's a little prop I'm going to show you. That was also I found in this box of stuff. Was this thing right here? Which, if we have any British audience members, they're going to know what this is. This is what's called a Blue Peter badge.
That is
There
a
was
Blue Peter
show that-
badge. I
Yeah.
haven't thought about it until you mentioned it. Absolutely.
So the reason I'm in a suit in that photo is that same day I did a day with the Blue Peter crew.
You were on Blue Peter?
I was on Blue Peter.
That's incredible.
Okay,
What's
we have
Blue
to
Peter?
we have to explain for Saara.
Yeah.
Blue Peter is a kids show that's been on in the UK since like the 50s.
Forever.
And it's like
Okay.
a chat show and meet people from around the world and meet people at their jobs, kind of, kid talk show kind of fun,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
They called up and said, "Hey, we want to do a piece on the ride. Who can give us a tour?" And they said, "Our creative director Dave can do it. Can he wear a Men in Black suit?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I can. Are you kidding?" So I wore a suit for the day. I have the videotape. I have never watched it because it's PAL.
Oh, come on. It's not that hard to get a PAL player.
Well, and then on top of that, the flip, it's a VHS tape. The flap on top broke. And I don't want to put it in a player for fear of so I need surgery of it being taken, the reels taken out and put into another tape.
Dave, I would like to
cassette.
inform you. You live in Los Angeles, California. It is where
I know,
I know.
it is where
I know.
film gets restored. It's kind of the place.
I
for
know,
it.
but what happened was it was in this box of stuff too. And it's like I had intended to do it like, I don't know, 2005, 2006. I'm like, I'm going to get this repaired and send it somewhere. And it just floated away and you forgot about it. So that will be for a future show and tell.
my
I'm going to
God.
get that.
That would be incredible.
My episode of Blue Peter, I'm going to get it digitized somewhere. And we'll
I don't
watch
think
it.
I've
So-
ever-
So yeah, this is one of the most proud things I've ever gotten.
Yeah, that's
as
incredible.
as something at work. These are very rare.
So rare.
Like they're very rare. And I was told by them, next time you go to the UK, make sure you wear it wherever you go. And I did. And holy crap, I would get discounts. People say, "Hey, why don't you come and we'll give you a little tour, a little private tour of this secret area that nobody sees." Like I would go to museums and restaurants and things, and everybody knew what this was. And I got treated like, "You have a Blue Peter pin? What?" And on top of that, being American, they were like, "What do you know of Blue Peter?"
Yeah.
So this was a conversation starter when I went to the UK. This is one of my
That's
prized
so
possessions,
cool.
this pin.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, it's like having a countdown tea kettle. I mean, like it's such a specific British thing. That's amazing.
Very much so.
All right. Well, as we finish up, let us go to our favorite little robot that we know, the Astuter Computer Poem of the Week.
Why, I'm a router for the computer. Everybody needs a friend.
All right. So let's see here, computer. We've had some good Beware a Guest this week, Astuter. So can you give me something about that? Is that possible? Let's see what you can get for me here. Disney turmoil. Birthday joy turned bitter feud. Sisters clash. Bite marks tell.
Oh, it made me cry.
Yeah.
I'm a little misty.
You can feel the family tension. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
So real.
Of course, Rat Castle is produced by yours truly, Nathan Hartman. And thank you so much for watching or listening wherever you're at. As I said, we are now on YouTube. You can find us on there if you want to see us visually. And we are on TikTok, and we put clips there. And we are on Instagram, and we are on Twitter. And we might be on LinkedIn for this point. I don't know. We'll just
Maybe.
put up stuff on LinkedIn.
Come chat with us.
Yeah.
We're always on socials. Come and talk with us and
we've
hang
got
out.
some-
Give us some of your stories that you'd like for us to talk about as well.
we would
too.
love it. We would love it.
Please submit photos and videos of yourself in the parks. If you have if you go get our merch, and our shirts are amazing. I actually have worn our shirt to the park, and I had a couple people like, "Oh, I love you guys." So
That's
you're out there.
great.
Awesome.
Wear it, you know.
That's so
and
good.
tag yourself, and we'll show you on the show. Now that we can show stuff,
Yes.
we'll show your stuff on the show.
Yes, and you can leave questions, you can leave stuff, emails, all that, buy merch, all our social links. You can find all of that at ratcastlepod.com. I think I made a mistake last week and I said ratcastles.com. If you go to ratcastle.com, you will find a man who has held onto a domain far too long and is showing off his rats and the things that he makes for them. So God bless him. But we are at ratcastlepod.com. So you will find all our links there. Now, grab your belongings, and I'm going to get this right this time. Watch me. Exit to the left. Right? It's your left, so it's a different left.
Your left.
It's your left.
Got it.
So, right? It's weird on video, but left is right and right is left. And that is why, life is so hard. So, on that note.
Yeah.
I can't. That sounds so sad to leave it like that.
Bye, y'all.
How do I make it? She got balloons. That's it. We're done. We're done. She got balloon filters. So we're done. That's good. Good way to end it.
Will you stop this foolishness?
What foolishness would you like to see?
Will you get out of here?